Welcome to, we don't even know what we're going to call this. This is the Shipyard PBR Showdown podcast. I'm Drew Stewart here with Coach Espo. What's going on, Coach? Long night.
Coach, how we doing today? Long night, long day, back at it, ready to roll.
A little sleepy. Get back to go at it. I think we're going to break the record for most steps in a day today.
Coach, let everybody know how many you did yesterday.
29,500.
It's a pretty good day.
Well, it's 500 away from 30K, Coach. We're going to get 30K today.
If you wouldn't have been using the golf cart, you would have demolished that. But golf cart was needed for time.
Yeah, or I probably would have left at 5:00 p.m. yesterday. So we're gonna talk about a few things. Wrap up day one of the Shipyard PBR Showdown. Our number one topic is going to be top performers from the day, and I'll kind of start us off here with Keenan Bowman, 2023 at Legion Collegiate, going to the East Carolina Pirates. Had 3 hits on the day, squared the ball up the entire day, and he's a fun player to watch. I know he's just coming off of Tommy John's here, but he swung it well at the plate and was playing pretty good defense over there at second base as well.
No doubt, he obviously had a big time performance on the day. I'm gonna go stay in the pitch or go to the pitching side for mine, and mine's kind of a no brainer. I thought overall with us was Chase Striker from Ashley Ridge. The right hander came out, went 5 2/3, 9 punch outs, only 1 run, kind of, ended up being late in the game, only 1 walk. It was big time stuff. It was 90-93, with 2 different breaking balls, a really hard slider at 77-80 and a curveball 74-77, flash 1 changeup. But to me, the most impressive thing for him was the command. I mean, this Coastal Carolina commit, you kind of see him to be able to roll right in and Coastal and perform at a high level. He threw, strikes with, only flashing 1 changeup, but all 3 pitches. I mean, that was big time performance to come out day one in front of a bunch of major league scouts behind home plate, facing a good Powdersville team, and just fill it up and overwhelm those guys.
Yeah, no doubt. That gives you a horns up right there. Sammy knew that one was coming. I'm gonna stay on the pitching side as well here. And a 2026 and Jason Davis at Stratford High School. We saw him a little bit last year in the same tournament. It was up to 82 early in the game with strong command. I think he was able to keep Northwestern from scoring more than a run. I think they only scored a run on him, which we'll get to the little recap of the games here. And also Harry Wiggins, catcher at Stratford, who had some big hits in the game, which you'll see on our Twitter, so check that out. But those 2 will be exciting to watch for Stratford. Harry Wiggins, a 2023 catcher.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of stay in that catching side. Go with Stowe Rogers over there at James Island. He, we've had a chance to see James or Stowe, not James Island, Stowe this early preseason at the preseason All-State. But Stowe, big, strong, physical hitter, catcher, really defends well throughout a run, a big runner at third base. They were down earlier in their game and came back, and he had, squared a bunch of balls up. A couple at bats, he hit balls hard, didn't have anything to show for it. Had a big RBI double kind of in that game, kind of start the process of the comeback for those guys. But he really stood out with the bat, kind of a young man that I know some colleges that were there in attendance were interested to see how he was going to do. So it'll be a fun one to watch. But Stowe kind of stood out for me with the bat and also defensively behind the plate.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is part of shout out, part of a top performer here. Lugolf Elgin, shortstop, Kobe Evans, 2023, going to Coker, right, Coach?
Coker, going to Coker.
So just a prototypical leadoff kind of hitter, but plays really good defense in the field. Had a big play to end the game over there at shortstop. I think he jumped about 6 feet in the air. He got way up, climbed the ladder, and made a big play to end that game against Lucy Beckham. Had that ball fallen, we might have had a tie game going into some extra innings there. So big shout out to him for that play.
No doubt. Showed some big time hops and athleticism.
That's right.
Over there. My last shout out for the performer, young man from Fox Creek, 2025 sophomore, Devin Hillary. He's squared some balls up, lined out one time, didn't get anything to show for it, had a hard base hit in the middle, but kind of, left-handed outfielder, center fielder, ranges out there, good runner, but really shows a good short stroke with some bat speed in the box. So he, kind of raised some eyebrows yesterday. We had gotten a chance to see him briefly in a tournament down in the Shipyard in the fall, but he was one, young man that we were excited to see yesterday, and he didn't disappoint on day one with the bat. And so we look forward to watching him over these next couple of days and see if he can kind of keep growing and maturing off of that outing on day one.
Yeah, no doubt. We got one special shout out here to all of the scouts in attendance for coming and checking those guys out. Various Major League Baseball scouts as well as college scouts. So great to have those guys out to see what this great state has to offer in terms of talent. So, Coach, player of the day, one each from us. I'm going to start us off here. My player of the day came in the last game of what was the biggest game of the day, and that is Kai Tulos. He had the biggest hit of the game, probably 2 outs and the bases loaded, hit a single, scoring 2, which put Riverside in the lead over Oceanside. And then he gave him an insurance run in the 7th or in the 6th, 6th or 7th, one of those innings. That put them up 2 runs instead of 1. So he had a huge day at the plate against some pretty good arms, Coach. So it's going to be, he's going to SMC 2023. So it's going to be exciting to see how he gets better this tournament.
No doubt. He started off with a bang. So did Riverside in general. I mean, it was it was early on, right? They're down 2-0. We're kind of looking over there going, this might go, I mean, I kind of got a duel. I'm going to throw a little curveball here. Overall performer. I mean, I just want to give the Riverside crew. I mean, we got a chance to have seen a lot of those guys, right? Over some showcases, over some scout days. We haven't had a lot of, opportunities to see the team, but we've seen some players. So we kind of knew that group. So I just want to give a big shout out to those guys overall. A lot of people come in and, they're playing Oceanside. They got no chance. And they were throwing a sophomore, a young guy out there. I was kind of joking. They threw him to the Wolves and had the
what
senior
left-hander he had on the mound, though, against one of the best lineups in the state.
It gets down 2-0 early, right? And thinking it's going to fold. But, that young man was able to bounce back and continue to throw strikes and fill up the zone and gave his team a chance overall from the get. So I, applaud those guys in general and showed a lot of, they enjoyed themselves out there. The fans were into it. It's a great atmosphere, but I'm going to go ahead and give my overall top performance. I talked about him earlier, but Chase Stryker. I mean, it was, you see a lot of these guys early on in the season, right? You get some people come in to come watch them, some major league teams come watch them, and maybe they're not quite ready. Maybe they might show the velocity, but the command's not there, or they show the command, the velocity is not there. I thought he kind of opened up some eyeballs, and that's why we got him number 2 in the state, right? I mean, he's the number 1 pitcher we got ranked in the state. And he's, the number 2. Arguably, we rank these things. We might be able to put him in number 1. He's up there to, because obviously we do a lot of stuff in the showcase world, but we do a lot of stuff in watching people play, and the games are going to outweigh a lot of the stuff in the showcase when it comes down to our rankings. And his performance on day 1 was big time for me with the command, with the stuff. So Chase Stryker, big time performance for me.
And he's progressively gotten better, Coach. When you look at him
no
from where
doubt.
he was last year in the same tournament,
right? 100%. And physically, he's leaned out in a not that he was in a bad way, but he's gotten longer and leaner, and it just looks. He looks like he's taking the steps. And I know Coastal's going to be holding their breath, but I think Coastal's got themselves a stud to roll in there for day 1 next year.
Yeah, no doubt. So, hey, let's talk about a little recap here. James Allen got the win over York 10-5. James Allen was down early, but battled back to take that game.
We were questioning ourselves, Coach, with the power 25 at that moment in time.
We were about to have to shut it down. We talked about Ashley Ridge got a 7-1 win over Powdersville. It was a very competitive game for the first 4 innings. It was 1-0, 2-0. And Ashley Ridge was able to pull away. Wando takes an 8-4 win over Fox Creek, the Warriors, baby. And then Northwestern, in what was another exciting game, beat Stratford 4-3 on a walk-off. I believe it was an error, walk-off error.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
but nonetheless, I think they were down 3-1.
3-1.
3-1 going into the last inning
inning.
and won 4-3. So big win for those guys. Lugolf Elgin takes the win over Lucy Beckham 4-2. The Legion Lancers, coach, another great game. Beat Fort Dorchester 6-5, and at some point Legion was down 4-0. Was able to battle back in what was a playoff atmosphere yet again. Fort Dorchester, hey, they're hype over there.
Hey, Fort D was in there. They didn't shy away. They came ready to play and ready to whip up on the Lancers, and then that got a little heated, little testy on the field with But hey, that's the beauty of high school baseball, right?
That's right.
You kind of get some pride of playing for your school, playing for the community. So those guys were ready to whip up on the Lancers and just fell short. But it was a fun atmosphere. A lot of fun to watch those guys compete.
And then what was the last game of the night? So the biggest upset maybe around the country yesterday, coach. Riverside takes down the number 16 team in the country, Oceanside, 5-3.
I think I saw it on Sports Center this morning.
Hey, Sports Center. Yeah, it was our center field angle. A heck of a game for Riverside. So we'll see how Oceanside regroups and how Riverside keeps it going, which takes us into our games today. At 11 o'clock, Lucy Beckham will take on Northwestern. Fox Creek will take on James Island. And then at 1:30, we got some big matchups at 1:30. Oceanside will take on Powdersville. Should be a good one. And Riverside will take on Wando, another good one. At 4 o'clock, we got Lugolf and Ashley Ridge, should be another good one. And then York and Fort Dorchester. And then our nightcap will be the Lancers of Legion and Stratford.
Coach, so a lot of action back on tap. I can't wait to watch the recap with you and none other than the coach, Austin Smith, tomorrow.
Yeah, Austin will be recapping this thing tomorrow and the next couple of days.
Yeah, and then we'll be back down there. Sunday in full force with all three of us. So
that's right.
Watch out now. Whether we miss something or not, don't worry about it. Got all those cameras laid out over there. Going to be able to catch every piece of action.
Drew might go going on.
Drew might go crazy with the amount of content that's getting in there. Hopefully, have enough gigabytes on our.
Yeah, I might have to order another hard
SD
drive. We'll file it under Stewie LLC. But hey. Well, that wraps us up for day one, Coach. Stay tuned as more information rolls out. Make sure you're following all the social media accounts as all that information gets put out, especially on Twitter. And if you're at Shipyard and you need to find our social media accounts, go find the sign and scan those QR codes.
Scan them, Coach.
That's right. So from all of us here at PBR South Carolina, have a great day.